And we're live. Wave, Gabe. Hey, everyone. Hey. Hey, everybody. My name is Dallas Graham. I am the executive director of the Red Fred Project. You may or may not have heard about this wonderful thing. We've been doing the Utah Humanities Book Festival for a few years, and we've really enjoyed it. Usually we're on the Big Mouth stage. We have a brimming, happy crowd, but because of circumstances, we're doing it virtual this year. And we're just really glad to be invited back. We've enjoyed it. And this year, because it's virtual, it's even given me and the Red Fred Project and some of my storytellers more time, which I think is fantastic, that we get to share more about what we're doing with you. So if you know about the Red Fred Project, you'll know what I'm gonna say and read it a little bit, but if you don't, here's an introduction. I'm going to read the mission of the Red Fred Project from a book that we'll get into a little bit that belongs to this guy. But I'm going to read the mission of the Red Fred Project, which is found in every book. The Red Fred Project finds children living in extraordinary circumstances and asks them the question: if you could write a book for the entire world to read, what would it be about? The stories they share are filled with humor, compassion, and wisdom. The books we create together become a vehicle for these stories. They become a lasting voice, a tangible achievement for each child. As part of the proceeds from each book sold go to the family or related cause chosen by the child. The books are also a way to help with financial difficulties. You see, the magic multiplies, lives on forever. You'll be inspired by the talent and imagination of these children. So that's what we're doing in the Red Fred Project. I started it about 7 years ago, and it's had some wonderful evolution. On the one hand, I'm going across the United States and finding a storyteller, one in every state. And we've gone to 18 states so far. But then a little bit ago, I thought, hey, we should find some more kids in Utah. So I called up my dear friend, Steve, who works with a wonderful organization called the Angels Hands Foundation. And Steve was quick to say, hey, I think I've got some good ideas about some more kids that would like to work with you. Because we'd already worked with Nathan Glad, our very first storyteller. So Gabe is one of the kids he recommended. And boy, was he right. He was wonderfully right. We love Angels Hands Foundation. They do incredible things to bring families that have kids living in extraordinary circumstances together, to do things, to get to know one another, to have a support community. And I've loved everything that they do and stand for, especially as they are huge, huge fans of the kids that they've let me get to know and love. So I want to say thanks to them. The other thing, so then we started this other collection of books while I was also going across the United States, and I needed some help. So we got some local talent, writers, designers, photographers, videographers, and some people to help with fundraising. And we've been trying to get all these books with all these kids completed. We have 10 books in the Utah collection by 11 different storytellers. And it's pretty fabulous. And everything's done. All the books are done. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we've had to put off book signings until we can be in a space where we can have physical, events again. And we're just really excited of that day. All the books are in boxes and we're gonna someday have it, but these kids have been real troopers to be so patient. Let's see. Other reminder, if you'd like to keep following the Red Fred Project or just see what's going on, or there's a couple ways. Go to redfredproject.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. There's a newsletter you can subscribe to on the homepage. Just the top button. Hit subscribe. I send out a monthly newsletter talking about events, kids, book sales, where I'm going across the United States, which kids are in Utah, what they're doing. We just keep you, what community organizations we've been working with and doing really great things with the books of these children. It's just the best. So if you want to stay connected to us that way, I'd recommend come on over. We'd love to have you. We'd love to keep sharing with you. All right. I think that's all for now as far as me asking you and telling you about what we're doing. And now we get to the real fun part, which is ta-da, talking to Gabe.
Hi.
Gabe Casados.
Yes,
Gabe, do you like to go as Gabe or Gabriel?
Gabe, please.
Gabe. Okay, we'll do that. Gabe, remind me, how old are you?
I'm 14.
14. All right. And you look great today. Thanks for making yourself available. Um, I guess it's after school, right? We're filming this and it's after school right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your day today? Tell me a little bit about your day.
Good, I got a puppy today. It's so cute. It's a little French bulldog and it's so
Okay, how did you just get a puppy? I mean, what was the circumstance?
my cousin has too small a house for it, so she had to get rid of it. And she decided to give it to us, send it to the pound. Right
Wow.
there.
Did you get the call today and then get the dog, or was this like a couple
We
weeks
got it
ago?
yesterday and got the dog today.
Well, I've met your other dog, Odin, or
Odin.
Odie, and I saw him when he was a puppy, and I've seen him now as a teenager. You're a great caretaker for those dogs. I know you love them a lot, and I've seen him act around you, and I know Odie loves you. How's Odie and how's the new dog gonna be? Are they
All good friends.
they're already good friends?
They started playing. It's so fun watching them play.
Odie's not being all territorial or oh, that's great.
Yeah.
How is your mom with it?
Not exactly the happiest. But
Yeah,
she's a dog.
she's happy. She's happy that you're happy, right? Well, you're
Sure.
great. I really think your mom's fabulous. I think she's wonderful. She's one of my favorite people, and I've loved getting to know you guys through the years. So thank you for sharing a little bit about you. You live in the greater Salt Lake City area, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I did that.
Just a little stage fright. Well, as you know, I wanted to ask you in front of the audience some questions about your life, questions about your health, questions about the book, just things about you that sometimes we don't get this much time. And so I'm pretty excited for you to share with the audience aspects about your life that they may already know or may not. But I find it really interesting, and like I've told you, I've already had some of the other interviews with the other storytellers, and it's been just terrific. So I want to say thanks in advance for agreeing to do this, and I'm excited to let everyone get to know you because I think you're amazing. All right, you ready for some questions?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me just access my list. I'll be looking at this list here and there. All right, first question. Gabe, why did you want to work with the Red Fred Project?
I've always wanted to be an author, so just getting a chance to start somewhere was so interesting and cool, and it just made me really want to do it.
I like that. Do you remember how you got the call? Was it from Steve, or do you remember even how we?
Yeah, it was from Steve. He called my mom, and my mom asked me, "Hey, do you want to do this thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Had you already thought about maybe making a book at some point in your life?
Yeah, it sounded really interesting and fun.
That's great. Well, it is great, and I love the story that you came up with. It was wonderful. Next question. What's the best way for anyone to ask you about your extraordinary circumstances?
Just asking. It's really to stare than to ask. So even if you're just like, why? That's just, well, this. But just staring at me isn't gonna help.
Right. So ask instead of stare. Is there a way that you'd prefer people to ask? Could you help people understand that?
Just ask how you would say, how's your day going? Like, hey, how did your legs get to be that way? instead of why are your legs weird? So
Ah,
yeah,
see, this is really important to hear. You know, one of the other storytellers said, um, don't walk up to me and say, what's wrong with you? She's like, because nothing's wrong with,
well,
she's
I
like, I
prefer
don't,
that to be
huh?
honest. I prefer that to
Oh, do you?
somebody like acting like a glass something or other that can break at any time. I'd rather them just ask what's wrong? Like, what do I need to worry about with you in case like you fall? You know, I'd rather them ask me that than just be, oh, it's okay. I can do this. I can help you. Like, I prefer someone just be direct.
Hey,
But that's me.
I like that. I like that. And I'm sure you would you handle all that really well because I think you're really good with people. That's good to know. That's good to hear. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Gabe, why write stories? Why should you? Why should I? Why should anyone? Why should we write stories?
For the Red Thread Project or in
Well,
general,
just in general.
it's so I can. Wow, that door is loud. Um, uh, it's so that people can understand different walks of life.
Hmm.
That's like especially prevalent in like some people won't understand what it's like to be disabled.
Right.
They just won't because they have normal working bodies.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can say, well, I wear glasses, so I know what it's like to somewhat be disabled, but you'll never know what it's like to be in a wheelchair and not be able to do much of anything.
Yeah.
Unless you read a book from someone who's from that experience.
Yeah.
And that same goes for everything.
Mhm.
Like I won't know how to what it's like to have working legs unless I like read a book from someone who's blind. Like
Mm.
I'll never know how vital it is, you know?
Right. So sounds like you're saying that stories give us it gives us perspectives that we don't have maybe on our own, right?
It gives us perspective just for different walks of life.
Different walks of life, yeah. And I think it's really when we get to experience stories really fully, when we get to feel like we're in that or we're connecting with those
It also
characters.
helps people get empathy for
Mm,
other people. Because
yeah,
you don't care if the sidewalk's unpaved and like like rocky and stuff if they don't have to deal with it.
yeah.
But you write a story where someone's dealing with that, they're gonna care more than if they don't read it.
So also creating empathy.
Mhm.
I think that's a fabulous, another good reason why to create stories.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to bring that up. You're so smart. You are. Thank you for sharing that. Next, Gabe, what's helped you stay positive during these months with COVID? I know when I saw you a couple weeks ago, or a few, I guess, when I was dropping off the books at your house, we had a little bit of a chat there. Um, and I think I know you as a fairly resilient person, but I'm just curious if you could share with people like what's helped you stay positive during this time that's been really awkward.
I'd say it's definitely tough to stay positive.
Yeah,
So you're gonna feel sad. You're
same.
gonna be mad. You're gonna like you can't ignore the fact that you're gonna be sad. You just are. So once you get that out of the way, you can say, well, I helped to stay positive more by just being with my dog, my family, and,
Oh,
and talking with my friends.
yeah.
That's really good.
Which ways are you communicating with your friends?
So since I have restrictive lung disease, I can't get COVID, so I can't go to school because of the high case probability.
Yep.
So I play video games with them, I text them, and I email them.
Okay, so text, email, and games. That sounds like a really fun way to do that. And you've already, but you were already gaming before COVID, right?
Yeah.
You guys kind of had that already. Is that, do you play, do you feel like you play every day?
Yeah.
About every day?
No, like once a month. And no, every day.
Every day for 9 hours solid? No, I'm kidding.
More like 12, but
So, and then the other things you're saying, I think what you just said about the acknowledgement that you are going to feel sad. You are going to feel just, it's rough sometimes.
mm,
And then after you feel those, like you were saying, you can come up again on somehow. But then you've got these ways that you've been through friends and through your dogs. Do your dogs really make you this happy?
oh yeah.
I love it. Okay. That's so great. I would probably think, do you think that maybe there was more? Have you heard like there was a lot of pets bought during these months?
Yeah, because no one can like do anything. Like during like the summer months,
Yeah.
everyone's at home.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do. So why not get a dog?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that was great. Thank you. Let's go to the next one. Uh, that's kind of a repeat question. So, okay. Tell me about your trooper real quick. Hey, audience, each of the kids have a bird character that's made from a comma, like Red Fred. And we call them troopers. All these birds are troopers. Yep. There's Gabe's trooper. And they're the protagonist of these children's books, these original children's books that we create. So I'm going to ask, I want Gabe. Gabe, can you tell us a little bit about your protagonist, is the character, maybe why you chose his name, just like anything about it, maybe like why at the last second you chose to change his color. Just tell us a little bit about your trooper and who he is and why.
Sure. It'd be weird if I made a quarterback freaking bird output. So I chose to like make him after me. So he
Okay.
has hearing aids. He
Yeah.
he has like one leg shorter than the other, and he's just different. So and we made him different because like what's the point of making a book with a disability like what's like advocate group, disability advocate group, if not to advocate for disabilities. That would just be dumb if I didn't. So I made him disabled so it could reflect me and how I see the world. And his name, Cole Coyben, is so last name Coyben is the font that he's made from.
Yeah.
His first name, Cole, is named after my brother who sadly died a few minutes after he was born.
Sending love to that memory and Cole. That's really special, and I'm glad that you shared that with everyone. I mean, I knew this story, but I also think, you could have chosen anything, and you decide to memorialize your own brother.
Yeah.
By a fictitious little bird character that's actually doing some really great stuff in your book. Yeah. And I think that's, no one knows that, really in the story. So this is really great that we get to hear this from you. And then if they ever read the book, they can make that connection now. That Cole is a wonderful, wonderful being and person that was in your life, even if shortly. That's really great. I appreciate the aspect too that you're talking about a bird with disability that reflects in some way your reality. And like you said, why else? Like, why not make a book or make a character that resonates that? Tell us about the colors. I know there was another color in this, but last minute. I would like to know, can you tell no one knows that you changed the color, but
yeah.
why did you change the color?
To be honest,
yeah.
I can't remember.
Okay, great. Yeah, no worries.
But I know I like the color green and I like the color purple.
Yeah.
So that's why the door is purple and the deep green. Kind of reminds me of the Hulk now that I think about it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Like he was purple and it was like remember it was right before I was gonna send the files to the printer. You called me up and you're like, hey, can we change it?
Um,
Easy
I
fix.
can't remember why now. Can you? Mm,
Well, I just thought it was great. And
no, no.
it was important to me that it's always important to me that the birds have a strong connection to you or the storyteller. So I was glad that you had the confidence to call me, even though it was the last minute, to say Dallas. And I was like, yeah, we can change it. That's great.
Mm,
Okay, let's jump to the next one. Um, what was it like working with creative professionals to create a book? Give us some ideas like what, well, I don't know if people know what it takes to make a book. And this is your first book that you've done. So I'm kind of curious if you could share with people what was it like for you to do this?
it was hard, harder than I expected. Like, I mean, sure, it was probably easier than writing a novel, but
Mm,
like, it
mm,
was hard because the I wanted to tell a specific message,
mm,
and I wanted my book to reflect that.
mm.
So making my message fit within the book in 32 pages was really difficult, but it worked out, and it's
Yeah,
really good.
yeah, it did, didn't it? It's I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I think a lot of people think like, oh, write a book or do a book. And then
Hmm.
as you were explaining it just takes a little bit, probably more than they think, right?
Yeah, and like the photography in
Yeah,
this book is really good.
yeah.
The the like I may have made like the outline, but that was like made the script and it flows really well. And like where the bird is, it doesn't distract the lines. Like you'll read first and then you'll see the bird, which
Mm,
is which is a good way to do it.
mm. And we visited some of the places that you like. You were really specific about places that you wanted seen in the book, right? Can you
Yeah,
tell those anyone? Can you tell them about the places that we visited?
yeah. We went to like a sound system in my church, which is like a DJ booth.
Mm-hmm.
Like a DJ booth. It's just like the microphones and stuff, but it looks like it.
Yeah,
So now you know.
yeah.
Um, we also went to like we took pictures of my house, like around that area. We went to my school. We took a coffee. We took a picture of a coffee cup, and that was cool. So
Good.
it's a really wide variety of different places.
Yeah, yeah. It was, this was so fun, and I remember especially that shoot at the church. Like that was very memorable for me.
Yeah,
You
me
know,
too.
it was so cool because we got to see the big auditorium, and then it was like the coffee spot, and we got to have a real like look into your life. Like this is where Gabe comes a lot. Like this is where his friends are. Like he spends a lot of
Yeah.
time here, and it's so cool that we get to put this in the book.
Hmm?
That's great. All right, thanks, my man. Let's keep going here. Um, let's see. Uh, sorry, AC turned on. Hold on. Not the same as dogs barking, but it's AC.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine. You good?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. The new dog just escaped, like the kennel, the kennel. He's not like around the neighborhood. He's in the house. He's safe. He's not. Well,
Okay.
I'm great at explaining.
She is. I can second that. All right. Gabe, why did you want to share your specific story, the one that's in the book? Don't tell everyone about the whole thing, but like just generally, why did you want to share this specific story?
So it really just goes back to the all walks of life thing. And if I didn't make this book, people wouldn't understand how much like it's rough being disabled. Shocking, I know, to everyone out there. But like people don't really understand how hard it is. And if I can help people understand just a little bit better, then I've been doing a good thing.
What benefit is it, to someone like me who may not understand that? Why do you think that? I mean, you're nailing it. I believe it. But, why is that important for me?
The benefit, you're not a jerk. It just comes down to that. Like if you
Yeah.
cut into the disabled person in an elevator, you're a jerk. I mean, it doesn't get simpler than that.
Yeah.
And you may not even be a jerk on purpose. You may just be how your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
But like, if you can understand why you're being a jerk for doing what you're doing, like staring at me, you may think, well, I'm just curious. Well, hey, I don't stare at you. You'd be like, ew, that's creepy. Don't stare at me.
Yeah.
You're like, same here.
Yeah.
That's my stance.
I love this. It's and coming from you, it's really helpful. I hope the audience listening is really considering this and listening to this, because what you're saying is so like should be understood really well, right? But sometimes we still don't get things. And so for you to just say this, like, even as simple as like just don't be a jerk, or don't stare the same way.
Not like a lot of, so I've seen like a lot of people who have disabilities speak, and I've noticed they try to make people feel better about jerks, and I don't really necessarily understand that. Because why would they change if they get a pat on the back for being a jerk? If they're a jerk, you should tell them they're a jerk.
Yeah. Do you find that in your experience of people, have people, when they found out they've been a jerk, do you feel like they're quick to correct themselves, or quick to improve, or they want to? What's your experience been?
They'll try, yeah, like they'll try, but like inevitably it'll happen again, and it's just correcting it less and less,
Yeah. And you've got to have some serious resiliency, bud. I know you've got like stockpiles of resiliency, because you're speaking from this like a very author point of view, like what this subject is. And I also think that's why it's so wonderful that we get some time to learn from you. So thank you for sharing that, and thanks for being candid.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point in beating around the bush, in my opinion.
Right.
My mom's losing it by my side. But yeah.
You're the best. Okay, I love it. Okay, this is great. How would you describe your disability to someone who's never heard about it?
It's called, so the way I describe it, it first started open with like a joke. It sucks. Like, the disability sucks. And then I'd say, well, it's called Escobar multiple pterygium syndrome. A lot of words, it's just called Escobar. That's what we call it in our family.
Okay.
What it does is my hands are webbed right in the creases. And so like my feet, my knees, and like my neck. My neck. And so that's all webbed up. And unfortunately, I'm not Spider-Man with all the webs, nor am I able to swim really good because of the webbed feet. So I really got screwed. Okay, I'm sorry. Put it down. So basically it just means, so the other part is I have, what's the other part? Contracted like joints, which is why my hands are like this.
Okay.
I can't extend them. Like Dallas, how your hand extends out all the way, this is much of my hands.
Right. Like you're pushing right now. You're pushing right now?
Yeah.
You're pushing as hard as you can.
Yep. So that's the whole like gist of it.
So it sounds like Escobar kind of makes things go like this.
Yeah, it hunches. It hunches me.
It pulls things in, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then with the webbing, that kind of, yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's really helpful. I know I'd never heard about this prior to meeting you.
Yeah, it's like 1 in 500,000 people can get it.
Do you know anyone else that has it in the state of Utah?
Not in Utah.
Amazing. I want our audience to listen. Like, he's the one person he knows in the state of Utah. The one. There are other children
They could just be hiding from me.
What? They're hiding. They need to find you because you're the best. You need to be the man on the top. You're the best.
Like we all have all my moms have a group message. I know one in New York.
Okay.
One in Michigan, and that's like the 3 I know. So of course there are others, but I don't know that one.
And this is a good, maybe if I could. So you have a rare condition, correct?
Yes, very rare.
It's rare. And rare means
very rare.
Yeah, very rare. And just reminding our audience too, when we talk about rare in this circumstance or very rare, we're talking not just about an adjective about a condition. It's actually a medical condition that means there are what?
A medical term.
It's a medical term.
Yeah, it's like rare is like, so 1 in 300 is like, I don't know the logistics, but basically it's a very few amount of people.
Yeah.
In the world, but much less the U.S.
Right. So so that's also for the audience. So when you hear sometimes people saying like, this person or I, have a rare condition, they usually are meaning it's a medical term.
When a doctor tells you like your eyes have a stigmatism that's rare, it means your eyes are seeing the world differently than most people. Therefore, it's rare.
Yeah. Thank you for that clarification, and thank you for describing it in that way for us. Because most of us don't have textbooks and didn't go to medical school. We're not nurses or doctors, so we don't see it. We don't encounter it. You're so rare. You're the only one in Utah. Like that, you know what I mean? Like, so it's really great that you share a minute with us about what it is, what it's like. And I love you, and I'm so glad you can share that with us. Because it helps educate us now, right? It's educating us. It's causing our eyes to open up more.
That's like the whole point of being alive. It's like to get smarter. Like to like learn to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are so smart. I've said that since day one. I know a smart kid when I see one. All right, let's go to the next one. Tell me about a few of your favorite authors or books or stories.
Okay, so I've recently really gotten into comic books. So there's this one from Tom Taylor. It's called Deceased, and it's like about zombies in the DC universe. And you're like, okay, whatever. It's interesting. But then they kill Batman right after start. And it's like, okay, this is very different than what I'm expecting. And then they kill Superman. And it's like the sons of Batman and Superman fighting a zombie apocalypse. And it's so interesting.
It's so interesting. Oh, we got to talk off camera sometime about that because I'm reading it too. Cool. What else? Any other authors or books or series that you've liked?
There's another one from Rick Riordan. He's an author. I don't want to say that because that's kind of weird. Because like comic book authors are also authors. They write books, but I digress. He wrote like about mythology, like Greek mythology, Roman mythology, and it made it interesting, like more interesting. And so, this person fought a monster, he won, the end. Now it's like, hey, we're fighting this monster from mythological times. We don't know if we'll survive.
Yeah.
And so it's so much more like interesting because it's modern day.
Yeah.
And it's,
Okay, great. I like knowing that. I didn't know. I don't think I knew that you liked him. That's great. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Those things. And I hope you're staying up on your comic books. What is your favorite book about?
I'm gonna go with Tom Taylor's DC. But my favorite part about it is it's just so much more different than you expect. You don't expect some people to die who die. You don't expect some people to live who live. And it's breaking out of the norm.
Yeah.
In every story, there's Batman who's good, there's Superman who's good, and there's whoever else who's bad.
Yeah.
Typically. But when Batman and Superman are bad, what's gonna happen? You know?
Yeah.
So
you enjoy this aspect that it's not what you expect.
yeah, it's different. Yeah, I hate stories. And then everyone died. Like, what's the point of writing that story? It's not a story. That's an ending. Not I digress.
You've digressed twice.
I know. I'm digressing.
I'm joking. You're so great. All right. I'm curious. Like, if you had other books or stories, maybe in your head, have you thought about doing other books or stories, whether ever how serious, or maybe a comic book? Is there any other idea that we're not going to steal your ideas? I promise. Everyone on this thing, don't steal his ideas. Do you have any other stories right now that you've thought about?
Yeah, I have some like ideas, but none that I've like put down to pen and paper.
Okay.
Yeah, like keyboard and
Can you
screen.
share any of them with us, or no?
Yeah, I started one about an army vet, but then I kind of like fell off of it, and I think I'm just gonna scrap it and start a new one.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. Maybe we're kind of getting an answer on this next one, but maybe you can be more specific. What would you like people to understand about your life?
I'd like people to understand what it's like. I'd like people to understand how I feel when people say certain stuff. I'd like people to understand what's the right thing to say to a person with disabilities. Not just me.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah. Well, I think you're doing a great job of doing that, of helping people know that.
And also to like understand we're not glass. So we're not made of glass. Well, I'm not. Like I'm not made of glass physically. I'm not made of glass mentally. I'm smart. And some people, when they first see me, they're like, "Hi, are you okay? Is Lonnie? Is he okay mentally? Oh, he is. Okay. Hi." And that frustrates me so much. But yeah.
You're such a tough kid too. I mean, you're smart, but you're also tough. You're resilient. You're resilient. You know what I mean by resilient?
Yeah, resilience, like rubber. Like I can bounce back.
Like you bounce back. It's like you don't stay down. You don't stay. I mean, it's unfortunate that the things that you've experienced. It really is. It's like not fair. But you keep coming. You keep showing up. You keep doing life. You just keep at it, and that's amazing. That's awesome. I mean, it's just a really big deal, and I want you to know that I think you're just like one of the toughest people out there.
Thank Thank you.
This next question's really hard. What's your favorite cereal?
Okay. So there's a mathematical formula. Okay. I like Cocoa Puffs. Or Captain Crunch.
Okay. Do you ever put those two together?
No.
Why?
I don't think it's right.
Will you try that?
No.
Why not? Just have like a cup of it. Just like a little cup of it.
They're so different. Why do I want chocolate and fruit flavored?
Well, because have you ever dipped a strawberry in chocolate?
Yeah, that's way different.
Oh.
Fruit flavored, not a fruit.
Well, I don't know, Gabe. I don't know if you can really talk about how it's gross until you taste it.
I mean, I can talk pretty well. It's pretty gross from what I'm standing.
Well, please tell me when you do it or if you do it ever.
Okay.
Maybe it's just maybe it's the most amazing thing and you're just
milk before or after your cereal?
Wait, what?
Milk before or after cereal?
Like when I make it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's cereal first, then milk.
That's correct.
Yeah, I could have done that wrong, I guess, huh?
Yeah, you're right. There is a wrong way.
Oh, you're so funny. All right, a couple more questions, then we're going to get to your book.
Okay.
How are you doing? You feeling okay? You doing okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. What's a typical day like for you? Like share a day in the life right now for you.
Right now?
Yeah.
Go to sleep around 11, 12-ish.
PM or AM? At night?
At night.
Okay.
And I'll wake up like 9, 10.
Okay.
Because I don't have to go in, like, I can't go in school. So there's no point to like waking up at 7, you know?
Enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. And so I'll do my classwork, do this, that, and the other. And then, like my schoolwork, not. And then I'll eat lunch, and then I'll play video games until my mom gets off.
Great.
And I'll rinse, repeat.
And I mean, and it sounds like it's been a good schedule for you right now.
Yeah, pretty good.
Do you sometimes go outside?
What is outside? I've forgotten what the sun looks like. Oh, yes. We did a dog for a walk, like every 2 days or so.
Right.
With a new puppy, probably every day.
Now the new puppy, it's gonna be a lot, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. Tell me a real life story about someone you know who inspires you.
Okay, so not my mom, but okay. My mom, honestly, she's the best.
She's the best.
There are so many things I'd never have done if not for my mom. She's my biggest advocate, my biggest supporter. She's just the best. Hey, Mom, why don't you come say hi? Hi. Yeah,
She's the
Mom.
best. There she is. Hi, Lon.
I know I'm getting here.
You are the best.
I know.
She is the best.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me teary. I'm all teary right now because I know it. I know that she is the best because I've got to know her and I've got to be around you enough. Like you guys have something really special. And you know, I love seeing you guys laugh and tell jokes and poke each other, and you're a dynamic duo. You're a dynamic duo. Thank you for saying that about her, and I'm glad our audience gets to hear that, and I'm sure they felt that too. I'm sure they believe that too. Thank you. All right, that's it for the questions, my man. That was so good. Now, we'd like our audience to know that we are now going to have a first-hand reading of this title, this fantastic book by the author himself. So you read, and how about this? Like you read a spread, so page 1, page 2, and then just open it up like this so we can see it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
All right. Okay. Yeah. And all on you. Eyes are all on you. Start whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Make sure to read that poem. Make sure to read that poem too, because this is what we learned from Gabe. I just want people to hear this poem.
Right. Oh, what? I'm still talking. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Go ahead. Start, bud.
Sorry. Everything's brighter and sharper with you. You stitch us together with your smart laughing clip. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Good, the Bad, and the Musicians. A book by me. Paul Corbin had stayed up all night recording music all night, loading up his most recent single to a squawk box channel. He was about to go to bed when he noticed a couple of degrading comments in his feed. Paul was born hearing impaired, so the cruel comments got extra deep. He tried to forget them as he turned off his studio light and hopped into bed.
A little further back. Pull it just a little further back. There. Okay, that's good. Yep.
The next morning, Fred flew by and yelled in Nicole's ear, "Your music makes my ears bleed so badly that I might need those snails in my ears too." I don't know what actually he has. They weren't snails, of course. They were hearing aids. They helped Cole hear everything, even hurtful words people said around him when they didn't think he could hear them. Also, that's one more thing. Sorry.
Yeah, side note.
The rudest things when they think you're out of earshot. Like, don't be rude. Who said, like, "Oh, dude, I don't want Gabe on my team because he's in a wheelchair and we're playing dodgeball." Like, don't be rude.
Don't be rude.
Right?
Amen.
Right?
Amen. Amen.
One day, a message on the school marquee flashed above Cole in your bed. Talent show performance. You should perform your new single. It's incredible, Yvette pled. Nah, not with my hearing the way it is. Besides, Cole pouted, hardly anyone likes my tunes anyways. I don't know what these voices are. Please forgive me.
I love the voice inflections. Keep doing it. Whatever your flow is.
As Cole scoffed, Yvette treated him to a chippuccino and scrolled through his squawk box feed, pouring over every comment. Something was fishy about him. Several of these comments are worded similarly. I wonder if the twins could determine if they came from the same troll. We could, the opportune draw, as in trying to complete the sentence. If we had a triple shot, beat a non-GMO chippuccino to fuel our brains. Cole ordered them their drinks in a hot second, and the twins began hacking. According to our research, the twins took long sips from the straws. These comments are from the same account. Very Bon Jovi Love It 100. It's actually So you bet clocked. Does this change your mind about performing yourself? Oh no, I'm sorry. This is probably the worst interview in the history of interviews. But you know, I'm going to walk this till he rolls. And it goes.
A little further. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Nice.
Whole practice day and night and day. Kept loading new content to your squawk box. Hardly paying any attention to negative comments while taking the heart with all the positive ones. When the day of the challenge arrived, Cole felt good and ready as we reached for his new Fender TM. Yep, he threw on his favorite fedora for good luck. He has now completed his transformation.
A little higher.
What?
We couldn't see.
A little higher. Do it. Let's spread again. Nice. Fender. Woo!
There you go.
I'm not very tall. As he was setting up, you could hear heckling him from the back. Cole kept his cool and focused. As his words and tune cranked out, he saw the entire auditorium clapping and swaying to his music. Even Dread Fred, way in the back row, couldn't help tapping his claws, even though Cole would never know.
So picture.
Sorry.
Woo!
When the song ended, Cole saw a number of other birds with disabilities in the front row. He felt proud to be one of them. He had overcome his own doubts, improved his talents, and given his differences a stage to shine on. Sorry.
Say those last two words.
Hmm?
Say the last two words.
The end. Sorry.
Ah!
And it never ended. We
It
don't know
just
what
kept going. All right, that was fabulous. And oh my goodness, that was great. I want you to read all the time. To the audience, dear audience, at the end of every book, one of the things when I was designing these books and the ideas of it, you know, to me, I thought it'd be really important for us to have a couple of lessons, like life lessons from these storytellers in their own words about what, after you've read the book, right? What's the takeaway? What do they want you to remember? What's the, like, if we could boil it all down into just two little blasts of sunlight, what are those things? And so after we got it all done, Gabe, he did that and he came up with these two lessons, and I'd like you to just share what those lessons are and then why you wanted to do that. So,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So my first lesson is being different is normal. And if you say, well, I'm normal because I'm normal, you're not. Because you're not exactly the same height as someone else. You're not the same eye color. So don't come at me with that. I'm sorry. I don't know why I got aggressive. And my second lesson is everyone has value and something to give. So that
Wait,
really,
say that again. You said that too quickly.
I'm sorry. It says everyone has value and something to give.
And something to give. Yeah, go ahead. Now, why?
Because the reason that's important is because if you ever feeling like, well, I don't really matter because who's going to care what I think, you know? But like, basically it boils down to no matter what, you will give something to the world.
Yeah.
And if it's positive or negative, you choose.
Yeah.
But everyone has something to give and everyone has value.
Yeah. Oh, Bud, I just want to take you on the road with me everywhere. You're amazing. And I agree. I also want you to know, and I think you already know this, but you are putting something really positive out into the world through this book.
I hope so.
You really are. It is. I mean, the very thing you just said is what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I think the way that you give voice to it and those words that you used, again, for the audience to listen to this and for them to be reminded that I mean, just coming from you, you're giving them permission to go do something good in the world. Just,
Yeah.
You're giving them permission right now. And I hope that as they've listened to you and as they've gotten a bigger, idea of who you are and what you're doing and your sense of humor, I hope they leave tonight or this morning, whenever they see this, and want to do better in the world with themselves and want to be kinder, more thoughtful, not be a jerk. All these things that you've shared, and by you doing this today, you're actually doing the thing that you're saying in lesson number 2. So I think you're the best. I applaud you.
The final thing I really want to say is thank you, Dallas,
Oh,
for giving me this whole experience, for letting me write this book, for letting me share this experience with the world.
it's one of my makes me cry. It's one of my deepest, happiest parts of my life.
Hmm?
I really mean that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a fist bump. Thank. All right, everybody. This again is Gabe Casados, one of our Utah collection, one of the Utah storytellers from the Red Fred Project. We're so glad that you could spend this time with us, that you got to have a glimpse into Gabe's life, that you learned some things. I know you learned some things today, both like academically and emotionally. I know you learned some things today, and that's because of this wonderful kid. And sorry, I called you a kid, but this wonderful person here who's got such an amazing view of the world. And we're really fortunate in the Red Fred Project to intersect with him and other amazing kids like him. And we hope that we can just keep pumping these books out and sharing people like Gabe with everyone, because what just happened today is we all learned and got a little bit better because Gabe was himself, and he did him, and that's why. Anyway, thank you, Gabe. I think you're awesome. I'll be in touch.
See ya.
Hey, take care, buddy.
Bye.
I'm gonna just stop recording and then I'll stay on for a second, okay?
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Sorry.